Good evening, this is All India Radio Kohima and I'm Nobin Pradhan with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and floor leaders of all parties discuss public health response to the pandemic. NSF reiterates demand for blanket ban on departmental exams for recruitment to various Group C posts. Vice President M Venkaiah Naidu asks universities to lead in finding solutions to global challenges. And Nagaland reports 105 fresh COVID-19 positive cases and 3 COVID deaths in the past 24 hours. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also to help others to get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 6 feet for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075 and state helpline number 1800-345-0019. And now the news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacted with floor leaders of all parties from both houses of parliament to keep them informed of the trajectory of COVID-19 in India and the public health response to the pandemic. He thanked all leaders for participating in yesterday's meeting and giving very practical inputs and suggestions. Modi said the pandemic should not be a matter of politics and is a matter of concern for entire humanity. He added that mankind has not seen such a pandemic in the last 100 years. Modi also spoke about the efforts being made to ensure one oxygen plant in every district across the country along with prison. The Prime Minister informed leaders about the rising speed of India's vaccination program and how the first 10 crore doses took around 85 days while the last 10 crore doses have taken 24 days. Nagaland Lok Sabha MP Tokeo Yapthome also attended the all-party meet. Leaders at the meeting highlighted the situation in various states and spoke about the vaccination drives in their respective states. They also spoke about the need to constantly ensure COVID-appropriate behavior. The Naga Students Federation NSF today held an emergency presidential council meeting in view of the government's decision to partially lift appointment in various departments. NSF Media Cell in a release said that after a threadbare deliberation on the issue, the Federation unanimously adopted a 3-point resolution. The Federation reiterated its demand for a blanket ban on departmental exams for recruitment to various Group C posts until Nagaland Staff Selection Board NSSB is implemented in the state. NSF demanded that all existing vacancies for Group C posts not within the purview of NPSC should be requisitioned to NSSB and that departmental exams be scrapped once and for all. The students' body demanded that age relaxation for entry into government service should be in sync with the period of delay in the recruitment due to non-implementation of NSSB and not merely 1 year. NSF also questioned the rationale of the government to go ahead with departmental exams while taking various excuses in its implementation of NSSB. It said backdoor appointment is sabotaging meritocracy in the state of Nagaland and that the sole purpose of the Federation in demanding NSSB is to encourage and promote the competitive mindset of the youth at all levels. The NSF said various issues being faced by the aspirants due to the ban on recruitment by the state government was discussed and duly acknowledged. Further, NSF appealed to the agitated aspirants to fully understand the rationale behind the Federation's demand for immediate implementation of NSSB. Vice President M Venkaiah Naidu today asked universities to become thought leaders in finding solutions to global challenges such as climate change, poverty and pollution. He said universities should discuss various socio-economic and political issues facing the world and come up with ideas that can be implemented by the governments as per their needs and suitability. Naidu was addressing the World Universities Summit organized by OP Jindal Global University as a chief guest. Emphasizing on learning in mother tongue, Naidu said, to understand a subject in another language, one is to first learn and master that language, which needs a lot of effort. However, this is not the case while learning in one's mother tongue, he added. You're listening to the news from All India Radio, Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on our YouTube channel, AIR News, Kohima. Nagaland reported 105 fresh COVID-19 positive cases in the past 24 hours, taking the tally to 26,943. 45 of the cases were reported from Dimapur, 37 from Kohima, 8 from Mokokchung, 10 from Tuensang, 2 from Zunheboto, and 1 each from Longleng, Mon, and Phek districts. Meanwhile, 41 cases have recovered. The state also reported 3 more deaths in the past 24 hours, taking the death toll to 521. Union Education and Skill Development Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has emphasized on the government's commitment to transform India's education sector, bringing it at par with global standards. Addressing the World Universities Summit today, Pradhan said that the new National Education Policy 2020 has heralded a new imagination for the Indian higher education system. The minister said with the vision of study in India, stay in India, India will move towards becoming a global destination in education. He said the multidisciplinary education and research university will open up new opportunities for India's youth, stating that COVID-19 pandemic necessitated the adoption of online learning and use of digital technologies. The minister said future planning needs to fill a digital divide. The central government has provided over 43.25 crore COVID-19 vaccine doses to states and union territories so far. More than 2.88 crore balance and unutilized COVID vaccine doses are still available with states and union territories. Over 53 lakh doses are in the pipeline. The Union Health Ministry has said it is committed to accelerating the pace and expanding the scope of COVID-19 vaccination throughout the country. The vaccination drive has been ramped up through the availability of more vaccines, advanced visibility of vaccine availability to states and UTs for enabling better planning by them and streamlining the vaccine supply chain. As part of the nationwide vaccination drive, the centre has been supporting the states and UTs by providing them COVID vaccines free of cost. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in the country and abroad in the Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio on 25th of this month. It will be the 79th episode of the monthly radio program. The Prime Minister has invited people to share their ideas on topics he should address on the coming episode of the program. People can share their views on the Namo app or MyGov Open Forum. They can also dial the toll-free number 1800-117800 and record their message for the Prime Minister in either Hindi or English. The phone lines will remain open till tomorrow. People can also give a missed call on 1922 and follow the link received in SMS to directly give their suggestions to the Prime Minister. Doordarshan, All India Radio and DD Sports will do a mega coverage of Olympics 2020. The coverage spans from pre to post Olympics and will also be available on digital platforms of Doordarshan and All India Radio. DD Sports, DD News and DD India will broadcast daily shows and special programs on the Olympics. Different sporting events at the Olympics will be broadcast live daily on DD Sports from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. All AIR capital stations, FM Rainbow Network, DRM and other interested AIR stations will broadcast programs on the Olympics. The programs will also be carried over AIR YouTube channel, DTH and on News On Air mobile app. Daily highlights and periodic FMs will also be given. And to end the news, a reminder of the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and floor leaders of all parties discuss public health response to the pandemic. NSF reiterates demand for blanket ban on departmental exams for recruitment to various Group C posts. Vice President M Venkaiah Naidu asks universities to lead in finding solutions to global challenges. And Nagaland reports 105 fresh COVID-19 positive cases and 3 COVID deaths in the past 24 hours. And that's all the news we have for you this evening. Good night.